Well, hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. How is everyone today? Rick Goatsy here. I'm a Canadian author and I am the author of the Little Ricky short stories. I have collections and individual stories for sale on Amazon.ca, the Canadian version of Amazon, and on Kobo.com. If you're looking for paperbacks or ebooks, they are on Amazon, and if you're looking for audiobooks, they are available on Kobo. Today's focus in Reading with Ricky is going to be my second story of my third collection. My third collection is called Little Ricky, the Young Man from Otter Lake. And the second story is basically a very touching story that is continuing on the protagonist, my protagonist, Little Ricky, who has grown up. He's now a young man. He's moved to the big city and he's experiencing, you know what, life isn't always roses. So there's ups and downs in life, and it's a very heartwarming, touching story. So I'll be sharing that introduction with you shortly. However, before I do, again, I want to talk a little bit about who I am. I'm a Canadian author and I'm using my talent not to become rich and famous, but to help the poor. Every time I sell a story or every time you buy a story, I earn royalties. Those royalties, 100% of them are donated to a food bank. I give every cent I earn, every cent I earn, every dollar I earn to a food bank. I support the Allen Gardens Food Bank here in Toronto, Ontario, and my ultimate goal is to someday earn enough money to support food banks all across Canada. But you know, that will take a little bit of time. I'm slowly making my mark on the Canadian literary scene, and I'm very happy about that. So I'm introducing these Reading with Ricky videos so that I can perhaps get some new engagement. So if you're liking these videos on my YouTube channel, please feel free to share them with all of your friends and family. The more people that know about me and my good work, my charity work, the better for me and the better for the poor. Anyhow, I started my literary career at just the very beginning of the pandemic. And when I put together my first collection was called Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake. It's a collection of 12 heartwarming short stories. In this particular collection, my protagonist, Little Ricky, is between age 0, a baby, he's a baby, and a 5-year-old child. So it's a book more suited for children. It's about learning lessons as a child, Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake. And because that book was so successful, just last year I decided to write the sequels. So there is Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake, the sequels. So each of those original 12 tales are continued in this new book. So where you left off, or where I left off in those original stories, you now have what happened the next day. So Little Ricky, his family, friends, and acquaintances go through a lot more fun and joy and loving moments in the sequels. About a year after I completed my first collection, I started a new collection called Little Ricky, the Lad from Otter Lake, Adolescent Adventures. In this particular collection, there are 2 books to this collection, 6 stories per book. Each collection has 12 short stories, but because the stories were so much longer and so much more in depth, I have to break it into 2 parts. So it's sold in 2 parts. First, stories 1 through 6 are in part 1. Stories 7 through 12 are in part 2. They're available, again, like the others, on Kobo and on Amazon. So basically, my protagonist here, aged 10 years, he's now a teenager, about 14 years old, and he goes to Victoria Avenue High School, and he's experiencing all of the ups and downs and joys and hurts and all of that a teen would experience back in those days. So again, heartwarming, very touching stories, available 12 of them here in Little Ricky, the Lad from Otter Lake, Adolescent Adventures. However, today's focus is going to be on Little Ricky, the Young Man from Otter Lake. Again, my character, Little Ricky, has aged again. He's now a grown young man. He's about 21, 22 years old, has moved off from his small town, beloved small town of Otter Lake, to the big city of Ottawa. All right, so here we go. Let's first, before we start doing the Reading with Ricky bit, the beginning of the story, let's take a look at the teaser for the book. So here we go. Little Ricky, the Young Man from Otter Lake, a man's journey to independence and acceptance. Ricky undergoes a journey of self-discovery and healing amidst the backdrop of his hometown, Otter Lake. Returning home for Remembrance Day weekend, Ricky finds solace in the familiarity of his childhood surroundings and the loving embrace of his family. Through interactions with townsfolk and moments of reflection at his father's grave, Ricky grapples with his inner demons and seeks closure. Supported by the warmth and kindness of his community, Ricky begins to confront his struggles with body image and self-acceptance, embarking on a path towards healing and renewed hope for the future. As he reconnects with his roots and embraces with the love in his family, Ricky finds strength in the simplicity and warmth of Otter Lake, reaffirming that his sense that belonging and purpose is a long journey ahead. So how does it begin? So basically, here's a little bit of artwork in the book. It's a picture of my character, Little Ricky, and of course, the next page is designed to show some of the aspects of what's going on, what's happening in the story. So here's how it begins.
As the crisp autumn breeze danced through the colorful leaves, Ricky stepped onto the front porch of the Gauthier homestead after taking in the familiar sights and sounds of his hometown, Otter Lake. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the quaint little town. The air was tinged with the scent of fallen leaves and wood smoke, evoking memories of childhood adventures and family gatherings. Ricky paused for a moment, feeling a mix of emotions flood his heart. It had been only a few months since he left Otter Lake for the bustling city of Ottawa in search of a better life. Yet returning home now felt like stepping into a world frozen in time, where memories of his father, Cyril, lingered around every corner. After taking a deep breath, Ricky made his way inside the cozy homestead, the familiar creak of the adhesive tile-covered floor of the front parlor giving Ricky chills as he remembered walking in so many times before and seeing his father sitting comfortably there in his easy chair. Ricky found his mother, Veronica, in the front parlor, sitting at the table by the picture window with a steaming cup of tea cradled in her hands. The room was bathed in soft light, the glow of bright sunshine casting flickering shadows across the walls, adorned with knickknacks collected over the years. "Hey, Mom," Ricky greeted her softly, his voice carrying a hint of nostalgia. Veronica looked up, her eyes lighting up with warmth at the sight of her son. "Ricky, you're just in time. I've been waiting for you." Ricky took a seat opposite her, feeling a sense of comfort engulf him as he sank into his father's worn armchair. "What's up, Mom? Is everything okay?" Ricky asked. Veronica smiled, reaching for a small envelope resting on the table beside her. "Everything is fine, sweetheart. In fact, I have something for you." Curious, Ricky got up, moved to the table, pulled out a chair beside his mother, and sat down. He reached out and accepted the envelope, his fingers trembling slightly as he tore it open. Inside, he found a banker's check made out to him for $5,000. His heart skipped a beat as he looked up at his mother in disbelief. "I don't understand, Mom. What's this for?" he asked, his mind racing with questions. Veronica took a sip of her tea, her gaze softening with affection. "That, my son, is your inheritance from your father." Ricky's breath caught in his throat as he processed her words. His father had passed away from cancer the previous April, leaving behind a legacy of love and hard work. He had always thought of his family as humble, never imagining that his father had managed to save such a sum. "But why now, Mom? Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Ricky asked, his voice tinged with emotion. Veronica sighed, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "Your father wanted each of his children to receive $5,000 as a gift to help you build a future for yourselves. He left instructions for me to distribute the money once his estate was settled with the notary." Ricky felt a lump form in his throat as he thought of his father's final wishes. Despite the pain of losing him, there was a sense of comfort in knowing that Cyril's love and generosity lived on through his gesture.
Again, that's the beginning of Little Ricky, the young man from Otter Lake, A Man's Journey to Independence and Acceptance, available on kobo.com and amazon.ca. Hopefully you enjoyed today's reading with Ricky. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Take care. Bye, everyone.